What's up, guys? Another day here at the shop. This has got to go away today, unfortunately. This is the truck that we used everything out of to build that hot rod. So today this is unfortunately going to the scrapyard. The problem is it has no axles or wheels or anything under it. And then also I'm taking all of the junk out of the bed of the drag truck, rolling it out, washing it, cleaning it up, and getting it ready. And then I'm going to shove all of my scrap metal into the cab of the Dodge truck and take it all there. But I got to hook the trailer up. The other problem is there's no back axle under the Dodge. So I'm going to have to winch it up. The front's on air ride, so I don't know what I'm going to do. But stand by and I'll update you on that. Well, not much progress has been made. I've cleaned up a slight bit of this metal. In the process, made a bigger mess moving stuff around to put all the scrap metal inside of this truck so I can haul it all at once. But the big truck won't start because batteries are dead because I never drive it. And my battery charger will not battery charge. So if anybody has any tips on that, feel free to comment below, because I have tried everything humanly possible and it just will not charge. It kicks on, stays on for a second, and then kicks off. I've tried re-crimping the ends. I don't know if I need to blow it out or something. But anyway, fine looking transmission mount over there. Drive shaft mocked up, but I think I'm gonna go in, eat a bowl of cereal, and probably watch YouTube the rest of the evening unless I get a wild hair up my butt. Not feeling very motivated today. Sometimes it just happens. I think I burnt myself out. I didn't really take the weekend off. I kind of just pushed away on making content and making this thing. So that's that, guys. All right, we changed courses here. I'm gonna have to wait on training lines from Advanced Auto Parts. So start looking at the exhaust stuff, because we're gonna have to have O2 bungs, right? Most people would buy them. I'm gonna cut this section out, weld it in to my custom exhaust when I fabricate it, and then I have my O2 bung. Didn't have to spend any money, didn't have to order it, didn't have to wait on it. So that's what we're gonna do there. The other problem is the other one is on the cap. So I can scoot this back in up where you can see. The problem is there's a Y here. So this pipe is flared and way bigger than it needs to be. So I'm probably gonna slice a square out of this, drill a hole, weld that square around a bigger diameter hole in my new pipe. So that's my plan. That's all I got.
We got a couple minutes left here acting. So before I want to play the latest from Spirit Labs, The Void. Yeah. They are on their first ever headlining tour.
I needed this.
It looks like it's going incredible.
To adapt to the factory exhaust.
Every single show on this headliner
because they're flared
is
and they have these
completely
fittings.
sold out. Other than like,
and I'll just put new bolts in there
or something like that. Crazy, and
so,
what a huge accomplishment! First ever headliner, selling out every single show, playing massive venues. I'm so proud of Spirit Box, and you have yourself to thank for that as well. You do much.
The exhaust was not what I wanted to get done today, but it's kind of one of those things. The way I work is I work on whatever needs to get done at the time. So we may go from trying to do wiring that doesn't work out. But there's other small things, like this is small stuff, but it has to get done. Am I going to fully weld and build the exhaust today? No. Because there's a lot of other components to route it around that aren't installed yet. But I need to go ahead and get this ready. So the more parts you have ready and on the shelf that you can just grab and start working with, the better. While you're waiting on parts. So we're starting to get our collection of parts here. This one I'm going to cut probably about here. Actually, I lied. I'm going to cut it straight off. We're going to be stepping this up from a whatever size this is to 3-inch anyway. But these are pretty dirty and rusty and grimy. So we're probably going to wire wheel them real good, clean them all up. First we have to cut that with my chips. Cut that other section out. Yesterday's project. Full-blown catalytic converter in there. These things are worth a lot of money. People like to steal them because they have platinum inside of them. This one's actually got a VIN number on it still. But people steal these all the time. Here I am cutting one up. Can't really see in there. That's why people steal them. All I wanted. Now that can go to the scrap pile with our catalytic converter. The reason we wanted this, though, we're gonna clean it up real quick. Then I'll explain more. get a lot of time to think when you work out in the shop and stuff. Anyway, so say we have a piece of pipe, right? We take us a unibit, we drill a hole in this, we kind of shave a little bit more off of that, right? And it's kind of curved. It's kind of curved so it fits the curvature of the pipe. So we drill our hole, get this nice and as flush as we can, and then we there'll be a hole in there, and then we have our bung. We could cut out the same square out of this one, but it wouldn't make much sense. We could just weld this pipe into a section of our pipe already, you know? So what we did was we just knocked that layer of lime rock dust from over the years, dirt and grime off of that. I'm not gonna grind these off. We still may end up cutting this section out, depending on if our tube diameters don't match up right here. We don't want to choke it down, but we're not going for all out horsepower. We're going for reliability, so it may be fine. But I'm not going to clean these up with the death wheel until I'm ready to weld them, because I don't want them to re-rust worse. So we're just going to leave those. And kind of the same with these. I'm going to hit them with the wire wheel. But aside from that, we're not going to clean them up, because we don't want them to rust. And same with these. We're just going to clean them up. Which these may not clean up much, because they are pretty crusty. not so bad. The texture on that. So it's a little better. Right. These are cleaning right up.
Well, I hope I got your Monday off to a great start, Octane. I gotta go over to Channel 41's Turbo to play all the hard rock from the 90s and 2000s, but I will be back again tomorrow.
So much better,
early,
right?
6 until noon on the East Coast.
Now we got our gas, or our
from Vancouver, Canada.
jigs here. We're gonna clean
family.
around here a little bit, clean
Such
these up.
a great time, even though I wish it was a little bit warmer. It's Katie Babs. You got Shannon Guns taking over for the next few, and then Jose Maynard later on. So make the most of this Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Let's do a comparison real quick. Clean side? Not clean side. I don't know what that was. Not bad, right? Bad. Ugh. Need a drink. Dr. Pepper, of course. Those of you who don't know me know, probably don't know that I just got back off of vacation. In Bryson City, North Carolina. If you ever get a chance to go there, do it. It's really fucking cool. Go eat at a place called CJ's. CJ's,
Hey Octane, this is William Duvall.
might just be
Chains.
CJ's Diner? I don't know. And also do the train ride, because it's smoking up. But yeah, definitely go do that. Went up to Gatlinburg and Maggie Valley, Cherokee, North Carolina. Went up to all those places. Really good time. So if you ever get a chance, go do that. 'Cause it was cool. A bit of green Scotch Brite. This part's not necessary, but it works really good for getting in spots where you can't get in. It won't take a whole bunch of material off, but it'll get that little excess off. Yeah, I went to North Carolina. Did a train ride through the Smoky Mountains with my wife. Had a great time. Ate at local places up in the mountains. Saw some amazing views. Saw some waterfalls. Considered relocating. Wow. Anyway. Went to a motorcycle museum. That was pretty cool. Let's go that way or that way. I feel like to go that way. Put them on our little back burner there. We're gonna take a little break so I can figure out where I want to go next. Oh, what's up, guys? I didn't get a whole lot done today. Mainly some cleanup stuff. Cleaned up some junk around. For those of y'all who don't know about my truck, it's very large. The tires are very big. It's way too tall. The door jambs are about up to my hip. And somebody has keyed the crap out of it many times because people don't like big trucks. Got me a nice box in here. Nice stickers. Smoked LED taillights. Ooh. Anyway. There's my trailer. Which is for sale. Make me an offer, $1,500 or best offer. But the Dodge is gone. Oh no. Main goal was to get this area cleaned up for another project. I still got to move some stuff. That's my travel cooler that goes with me to races. That's a spare axle for the race car. That's the fuel cell for the race car. And that's the drag truck. Some of y'all will know about this truck, some of you won't. It's covered in fungus right now from sitting under the oaks. But inside, it's actually a super clean truck. The carpets are fairly clean. It doesn't have seats in it. It still has my original name tag in there. That's from when it was motor swap. This truck has been in my family for a while now. It's rusty, it's crusty, it's patinaed. It's got 28 1050W slicks on it. Bullet holes with some skinnies on the front. The front clip is removable. It goes on and off in one piece. But anyway, so that's going to be a project. It's going to stay painted like crap and looking like crap for a reason. So it started out as my mother-in-law's truck, who then gave it to me, and I drove it for a while, and then I gave it to my father because his truck blew up and he needed a truck, so I gave it to him, and then he gave it back to me. He got a new truck and he said, "Hey man, I'm done with this one. Take it back." So I took it back, put a big motor in it, and said, "Heck yeah." Anyway, this is all spare tires for the race car, spare parts of the race car. Anyway, front bumper for the race car. So that was the main thing, was to get this area cleaned up because the Dodge was here. Race car hasn't moved much. Started working on the rear bumper, started working on the tire mount. The fuel cell is going to go up between right here. Oh, and all the scrap metal is gone and cleaned up. The main reason I did this is because I got to have my lawn guy come and weed eat and do this and maybe pressure wash. But the lawn has to be mowed. But all the scrap metal around the shop is cleaned up. Nothing has really happened on the car. Let me turn the lights on. The shop is cramped right now. So not much has changed on the car. I haven't been able to do much because I spent so much time cleaning up. I've got a pile of exhaust tubing for the exhaust to get done. I just haven't done that. That's my pop-up tent for when we go racing. Exhaust parts. Nothing in here really has changed. I did move it further into the shop because we had some bad weather. I did repin the O2 sensors. I may have pinned them wrong. I could not find a correct pin out. You can still see some water from where the car was outside earlier. The compartment is still completely bare. I have to build a dash here still for all the way across with extra gauges. So Thursday or Friday, I'm going to get the big thick steel to make the floor plate all the way across, which is going to get welded from this seam to that seam. And it's going to be thick steel just like that. And then I'll run a big piece like this underneath it to add support to it. And then after I do that, I can build a rear firewall, which will come from this bar down to protect us from bits in the back. And then I can start once I have the floor in here, I'm going to go from here up to this bar, or from basically from this bar up to this bar with one sheet for the dash, and then we will do a section that comes up, over, and then down for our trans tunnel, and then a slope up. I know I've said that 1,000 times, but I'm just trying to paint the picture for people who can't really envision things. The battery's probably going to get relocated from the back because spare tire reasons. So the fuel cell is going to mount right here between that tab and that tab, and also the shifter is going to go on the slanted part of the center console. But and I also scored a set of I-beams today to switch this thing over to I-beam forward front end, so we can get about 18 inches of travel in the front, which is about, well, that's about 11 inches more than you get now. Actually, this thing probably has 5 inches. It's got a lot of down travel, not a lot of up travel. You can see by the space in between the A-arm. And that's even with the ball joints flipped, a taller spring and everything. The alignment's way off still. But hopefully Thursday we're going to get a lot done. I want to get the fuel cell in next. That way I can get it plumbed. My main battery cable is going to run down this side. So my fuel line is probably going to run down that side because our fuel rail is on this side of the entrance. So my wife did come out and make me a list. You can't see it because it's written in pencil, of all the things that have to get done. She's super supportive of the whole thing, and super positive, and always keeps me on track and tries to keep me positive and working. Because I get discouraged a lot about, like, oh my God, I'm running out of time. I've got so much, and I'm only one guy in one shop with so many hours in a day. But she keeps me real positive. Lucky for that. So she keeps me real positive, keeps me going. I thought I knocked something over. Oh, my legs are itchy. The skeeters are out bad because it rained while we were loading half of a truck up, which sucks. But yeah, so now the yard is clean. Super stoked on that. That's going to get pulled out soon. And also, once I take that stuff to the dump tomorrow, I'm going to put my camper shell back on the truck. And it will look like a Ford Excursion again. I like having that on there, though. But anyway, that's kind of just an update. Oh, no, I did do something. Okay. So I ran the wiring to here, which this goes to this fuel pump, which our fuel cell will be right here between there and there, mounted to that bar, this bar, and this bar. And I ran it all the way back to our taillights, which will be mounted to here. So we'll have taillight wiring there, taillight and tag light wiring, which I mainly ran that tag light as an extra, just 12-volt source for the back. But our taillights will be mounted in that way. When we take that off, or if we crash into something, we can just unplug those. I still got to cut my wire ties, but we can just unplug the taillights, take this bad boy when we want to put it back in, and she wiggles right back in with our taillights. So that's pretty cool. You can kind of see I was messing with some spare tire stuff. I don't know if I want them sitting up. or if I want them stacked laying flat. I think stacked laying flat is going to be the way to go. Just because if you want to know current trends and what's best and what works really good on race cars, look at the current professional level of those cars and see what they're doing. And usually whatever they're doing is what's best. And they do it for a reason, and they've studied these reasons. And right now, all the Pro 2 truck guys and trophy truck guys are laying tires flat, stacked on top of each other versus standing up side by side. So, probably going to look into doing that. Which, I mean, there you go. It's not great. We may still only run one spare, if I'm being honest. And I've considered putting the fuel cell behind the axle, moving the spare tire up in front of the axle. But I don't know what I like more and what's going to be easiest. The chances we'll ever actually have to use it are pretty slim. We're not actually Baja racing with this thing. We're not actually stage rallying because they don't offer that kind of thing. So we don't like actually need a spare tire. We don't need a jack. We don't need spare U-joints and parts in here. We don't need all of that. But it's what I want to build. I want to build something that is capable of doing those things and imitates those things. And if we can ever talk the firm into doing stage rally or doing that type of racing around their property, to where kind of like the Mint 400, where you have to, do that stuff on the course, even though it's a closed course and you're running laps. You're running the same laps. You still have to do, 400 miles or whatever, or not even 400 miles realistically at the firm, but you have to do 100 miles. So with minimal pit stops. So that would be a cool type of event to get into. If we could get that kind of thing going and get that kind of interest, to where you would need multiple drivers, you would need a navigator, you would actually need these things like real rally, not just this rally cross crap that the firm does, where you show up, drive around for a couple hours for $260 and then go home. Like, let's do some real racing. Let's put some competitiveness to it, to where these guys can actually like get out of their car and have some fun and fix their car and have to preserve the car and do this and do that. Not just, oh, well, it's just a race, for a couple hours, we blow it up, we can go home. No, man, like, make it to where they have to make it. Anyway, I'm on a rant. That's a 10-minute rant. So our taillights are wired. That's it. Skeeters are eating me up. I'm calling it an early day after cleaning up. I had to move that whole truck. I had to clean all the scrap metal up. I had to clean all of the plastic up. This entire bed is completely full, which most of it came out of this truck. Which I've got a small block Chevy that I'm going to put in this. It just needs to be pressure washed, cleaned off, and we're going to keep the patina in the look of this truck. But most of this was all trash and old parts. But anyway, that's it right now. I'm going to edit this video into some other content that you haven't really seen, and we'll get back on it hard in the next day or so. I kind of like posting early in the week, so middle of the week I start to get burnt out. Over the weekend I like to work, and then on the weekend edit, and then post Monday, Tuesday. and then kind of take the middle of the week to kind of recuperate, come up with some ideas on what I want to work on and whatnot, and do some home stuff, you know, play some video games, just relax. But anyway, peace, love, and chicken grease. Stay big and stay beautiful.